counting day in Mumbai and the city is holding its breath as the BMC battle enters its final and decisive chapter. While the BMC exit polls project a sweeping win for the Mahayuti, the JVC exit polls predict about 138 seats for the Mahayuti, while the Axis My India are calling nearly 150 seats for Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. Now, in terms of vote share based on communities in Mumbai, the Mahayuti is predicted to run away with the North and the South Indian voters. The biggest narrative around the elections build-up was the Marathi voter. Now, according to Axis My India, the Marathi voters have gone the Thackeray's way, but overall, there hasn't been any consolidated seat conversion.
Milind, there are simple question. If BJP is in the driver's seat, what does that signal for your relationship with this party over the next 3 years going into 2029?
Yeah. Well, firstly, thank you for having me. Just to demonstrate my consistency, Padmaja, I've never been one to believe exit polls, even if they're in my favor. That said, I'm confident that the Mahayuti will win and will win handsomely for several reasons. I say this as a Mumbaikar who's been observing Mumbai's politics for the last 22 years, 23 years directly, and been observing it indirectly since I was born, really. The fact is that the Municipal Corporation of Mumbai is the country's richest civic body. It's one of Asia's richest civic bodies. Sadly, it's one of the most unaccountable civic bodies in the country. And it's been misused, it's been abused for the last 25, 30 years, really by one or two families. And therefore, I'm confident that the people of Mumbai want a change. They want a positive change. The people certainly tried to deflect attention to non-serious issues, to emotional issues. But we really tried to keep our campaign focused on development. There's been a lot of good work that's happened in Mumbai in the last few years, whether it's the central government, the state government. The Mahayuti has delivered on several projects, infrastructure projects, housing projects, projects that benefit the common person. And people understand that the municipality is a critical element.
जनता कभी भी वर्क फ्रॉम होम नहीं पसंद करती है, वर्क ऑन ग्राउंड यही स्वीकार करते हैं। और हमारे नेता आदरणीय एकनाथ जी शिंदे और देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी, महायुति ने इतना मेहनत किया, सिर्फ प्रगति के राजनीति हमने लोगों तक पहुंचाया और लोगों ने स्वीकार किया। विपक्ष सिर्फ बहाना ढूंढते रहती है, कभी इलेक्शन कमीशन, कभी ईवीएम, कभी नोट्स का इस्तेमाल और कभी इंक के ऊपर।
देखिए, ये एग्जिट पोल है, एग्जैक्ट पोल नहीं है। ये कुछ भी दिखा रहे दिल्ली में बैठ के स्टूडियो के अंदर के ये हो गया ऐसे पहली मर्तबा नहीं हुआ, बहुत मर्तबा ऐसा हो चुका है कि पोल में आपने दिखाया कुछ और था, फिर खोदा पहाड़ निकला चूहा। फिर इस वक्त इधर से ये बोलना वो बोलना मैं समझता हूँ सही नहीं है। और हमको तो यकीन है कि हमको लोगों ने वोटों से दुआओं से नवाजा और इंशाअल्लाह ताला महाराष्ट्र में जहां जहां भी मजलिस इत्तेहादुल मुस्लिमीन के हमारे उम्मीदवार इस कॉर्पोरेशन इलेक्शन में लड़े हैं, वो अच्छी से कामयाबी मिलेगी हमको। भारी से भारी संख्या में हमारे जीत के कॉर्पोरेटर्स जो है इस वक्त जाएंगे कॉर्पोरेशन के अंदर।
देखिए, एग्जिट पोल इससे पहले भी असत्य साबित हुए हैं। अब की बार 400 पार किसने कहा था? ये एग्जिट पोल वालों ने कहा था। सब एक तरफा बीजेपी को बढ़त दिखा रहे थे। बीजेपी का रथ 240 पर रुक गया, बाद में कैसे कैसे सरकार बनानी पड़ी सबको पता है। मुंबई महानगर पालिका का चुनाव, ये 30 वर्षों के विकास के लिए हम बात करके चुनाव में आए हैं। दोनों ठाकरे बंधु साथ में, मराठी मानुस मराठी अस्मिता को लेकर साथ में आए हैं। मुंबई में जो मुद्दे थे, मुंबई में शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, यातायात, ये जो उद्यान, पर्यावरण, ये मुद्दे हमारे मुद्दे थे। आदित्य ठाकरे जी ने जिस प्रकार पिछले 7-8 वर्षों में बीएमसी में काम करके दिखाया है, वो सबने देखा है।
Well, on this story, we have my colleague Saurabh Gupta and Anuj Jaiti joining us on the broadcast. Saurabh, I wish to understand from you first. We know that the exit polls are not the final verdict of any poll, but they help us understand several prevailing trends. As many as 4 exit polls have gone on to say that the Mahayuti will have a clean sweep in the BMC. I mean, how essentially do you perceive this? What sort of sentiment has come about from the Thackerays reacting to the exit polls?
Well, the exit polls seem to suggest that the Marathi vote has largely gone with the Thackeраys, but that's not enough to win them enough seats to rule the municipal corporation. That's what the exit polls suggest. Now, of course, as far as the Thackeраys are concerned, it's very important for them to ensure that their control over the BMC remains, because politically, the BMC has always been the mainstay of power for the Thackeраys. And that's something that is a well-known fact in Mumbai, and that's something that other parties and the Thackerays will both agree that the BMC is important because Mumbai and its richest civic body is important to the country, and therefore, through their influence over the BMC, they also exert influence across the country. That's clear politically, the ramifications and the relevance of the BMC and the Thackeray family. Now coming to the results. If these results don't go in favor of the Thackeray's,
right,
then that would mean a political upheaval in the state as well, because that would mean
right,
a huge impact on the relevance, political relevance, even though
absolutely,
it can remain, even if the results don't go in their favor.
Right, absolutely. And I wish to bring Anuj also into the conversation. Anuj, of course, it's the final day. Today is the day of the verdict. And I wish to understand how exactly is the prep looking like on ground?
I'm actually standing outside the much coveted building, the BMC building that Saurav was talking about a while back, the building that everyone is really fighting for. As far as exit polls are concerned, we've seen that yesterday people came out, pretty much in large numbers to vote out, because when you look at the average voting turnout here in Mumbai, it has not really been above 50% more than once in last few years. Yesterday, the voting percentage was 53 to 55%, which means that the voting turnout was considerably well. At the same time, there were several chunks of the population and the voters who were discouraged from voting because of the alleged complexities that were there in place while voting. Many people complained about, their names being missing from the list when they entered the polling booth. Many people, including the opposition parties, also demonstrated how the ink can be taken out. In fact, people or the Nationalist Congress Party in Pune showed that the BJP people, BJP workers were standing right outside the EVM machines, or the polling booth with the acetone in their hand to rub off the ink from the people's fingers. So yes, there will be a lot of questions asked if the same numbers persist, because the mood on the ground, of course, suggested a different story as far as our reportage is concerned.